Hello, this is High Templar with my new Total War Warhammer mechanics video, and today we'll be talking about the lore of life and more specifically about damage dealing and healing spells. So we'll be testing this on example of this beautiful spell singer of the lore of life. And our first target will be actually dwarves. He will have a unit of longbeards. They have a very sturdy armor. They got like few shots from my lord, so they are down to 6900 health. But now they are stopped being shot at. And after this explosion they are being slowed down quite decisively. And it's only 400 damage actually. So, well, for some, but as you can see, pretty insubstantial damage. However, these are dwarves who does have high armor and they do have magic resistance, obviously 25%. But that was quite obvious. There is other things I want to test here, mostly in other scenarios actually. Actually, let's quickly go to these other scenarios because I have real numbers there and these are much better ones. I did few tests just to see if the numbers are consistent, obviously, and they are. However, it's hard to actually pinpoint the healing damage, the healing values for the spells, because unlike Invocation of the Hex, the healing spells from the Lore of Life do not actually rise people from the dead. So the more people you have in the unit, the more health they will, regenerate. So first test will be for the units that are, a lot of them. Basically, we'll be testing different scenarios. We'll be also testing tricking, which is very few of them. How this actually works, where it regenerates per unit or regenerates per person. And another very beautiful map from the Realm of the Wood Elves DLC. And we will have 3 units of spears just to hold those longbeards in place. And we will have a healing spell at any moment now. So right now we are casting... What are we casting? Life Bloom. So this is your basic healing spell. It will be casted in a few seconds. My units in the area of effect. This Glade Lord has only a bit of health. We'll be able to test it on the regeneration screen. It's actually already working from what I can see. It healed 20 health from all the units here. Yes, indeed, it did. So 20 health. Actually, that was very interesting. This is another thing that I actually wanted to test. So this was Life Bloom. Life Bloom is actually a passive ability from the Spell Singer of Life that is map-wide regeneration buff, and this is active when you are casting pretty much anything. And now I casted this spell at longbeards, dealing this time quite more substantially more damage, around 700 actually, to each of those units, but still this is not something great. However, when it comes to healing, because we are still have this Life Bloom going, it will be going for a few seconds, and now it's gone. We will be able to see how much life is being healed by the ability itself. So this ability is casted wherever your Spellsinger, whoever actually, is cast. No, sorry, only Spellsinger. Spellsinger of Life is actually casting any spell. And as you can see from here, 190 health healed for this unit. 190 health healed for this unit. And little bit less. No, this is actually exactly the same, right? No, it's not. Yes, it is. 190 health for all those units. That much. That's how much it was healed. So the ability itself will heal your guys for 190 health, which is not nothing. It is kinda nice, truly told. I'm exchanging healthy unit for unhealthy one and getting those guys back because I will be casting another spell we have here. And another life bloom is going on, but we will be also casting a healing spell this time. So you've seen that previously, before we actually casted this healing spell, there was 190, except for those guys were full. So we have Earthblood. This is overcasted version, which lasts twice as long, and it is the recommended, as you can see. Twice as long casting for only 4 more mana, if my memory serves me well. And it did end it. So we did heal some from the life bloom. Now the healing has ended, as you can see, we are down to 3000. So we healed around 380 from the 2 life blooms and around 900 from the Earthblood. But this was only for this unit. For this unit, we will have to treat it as about 200 from the life bloom, because that was the first one that was first time that this unit was healed. And the difference between those units is that this one only has 92 men, whereas this one has 96. And we have here quite some more, as you can see. So 1200, around 1200 health, or even 1300 in some cases, will be healed from overcasted life bloom. And situation here will be pretty much similar. This unit has 96 men, however there were less in the battle, so as you can see, less was healed. Here we have up to 3100 to the limit, and here it is 3300 and a half in both cases to the limit. So 1200 healed here and 900, or actually 1000 healed for this unit. So we have to cast, about 1000 cast, about 1000 is healed for this unit and 1200 for this unit. So this is pretty stable results. The less units you will have, the less it will be, and this will be proportional. Some of your guys might not be wounded, so then you won't be healing that much, obviously. But it is imperative for those spells to be casted, at the beginning of the battle, when they are just start to clash, and there is still many guys in this unit. However, they are taking some damage already, right? So this is one of those spells. And right now we will be casting, this one will be actually, if my memory serves me well, this will be another spell from the Lore of Life that is, you can cast it only on single unit. And this is a healing spell, but also gives you physical resistance to the damage. So this unit is down to 97 men right now, and their limit was 3100. but there is a life bloom going, and as you can see the spell is already working, and if you will see it will be regenerating pretty fast. So we have a regrowth and life bloom regrowth, and this is not overcasted regrowth. Overcasted regrowth is healing more, faster I mean, not longer, which is you know, better or worse, and is giving twice as much physical resistance, and I will show how that works. So the life bloom should take this unit down to 3000 limit, 3000 marker, and we still have regrowth going here. And there is still 97 men in this unit, as you can see, and their health is growing quite fast, and it's ended. So the 97 men in this unit, they were not that badly hurt, but still this regrowth healed around 13 and some hundred, and this is only for the single unit. So regrowth, very situational actually. If you are casting on units like Eternal Guards, you want to cast it before all your guys die, but if you want to cast it, you probably want to get most out of it, and we will see different scenario when we will actually be getting most out of it. And Flesh to Stone now I'm casting just to get another life bloom and see if it's consistent. So 1750 was before, and now we are getting 1554. So yes, we are getting 190, which if each life bloom to each unit on the battlefield, which is very, very nice in my opinion. If you will be casting 10 of those spells, imagine that, casting 10 of those spells during the battle, if you have Arcane Conduit, that is very much possible, will make you heal every unit in the battlefield for almost 2000, and that is not something, you know, you can ignore. So yeah, I don't think we'll be casting actually anything else here, we'll be just taking those guys down. So let's load another replay when we'll be able to see, in my opinion, how there is another heal here, but I don't think it will change things much. So we were in the 2, and now we will load test number 3. And now we'll be fighting Tweaking versus the Slayers. So the Slayers, enormous bones versus large, and they should eat my Tweaking on breakfast, especially without those buffs. Although I do have a buff that will grant me more attack, basically from my Lord. But that's about it. Come on, load already. And we'll be going on fast forward until we'll actually meet. Limit healing for this unit is actually only 3100. Sorry, didn't mean to hit that. Let's just see this charge. Charge and counter charge. Actually the dwarves stopped, which is very silly of them. They will do half the damage they could. But my guys are already getting pounded quite decisively. As you can see, their health is dropping like crazy. And I will be casting my spell right about now. They are already getting bloom, and they are about a quarter of it, so they didn't actually heal that much. Oh, sorry. The limit for this unit is actually quite more right now. Yes, but it already healed like about 50, so this is... So the Life Bloom will be working pretty much the same, whether you are big unit, small unit, pretty much anything. Now those guys are down to 12. And we will be casting on them regrowth without, and I casted, not overcasted regrowth, and that is a mistake on my part, because it will be not best, but as you can see, still 12 guys here. They are still dropping though. We'll just wait until the regrowth will stop working. Come on. I will be normally casting the additional healing. So the regrowth is almost about to finish. And on that unit there is 11 guys healed still. Come on. So for my 3-kin, 1500 health was replenished by casting the regrowth on the 11 guys. For the most of the fight that was 12. And that was not overcasted version. And I do believe overcasted version is the way to go in these situations. Now it's starting, now another spell is starting to work. So it was more than, it was in the area of 1600 actually. And then we have regrowth, which should be working. Slightly less for those 3-kin, which is only, they are down to 11. And they will be dropping even more. So 1600. Now they are no longer being healed, as you can see. And we are here down to 2618. So as you can see, that is quite substantial, and that was I don't think that was overcasted version. Was it the overcasted version? So again, we are getting those spells, healing spells will heal you a lot, assuming you are alive. For this unit of 3-kin, it will obviously be less, but it's still 1500, 1400, because you must count the Light Bloom, which will be not as effective for this unit because it will be casted before those guys actually started, before the combat started. So most of the Light Bloom was lost on them, but the Earth Blood, as you can see, 1500 almost, 1400, 1500. And this is actually also a very effective way, as you can see, to heal your Lord. He wasn't down by that much, but he still healed quite some, and he will be healing pretty much the same number of hit points. So you can hit your Lord with this spell and heal him for about 1500, 1600 if you are counting in the Life Bloom. You cannot be counting in Life Bloom if you are casting this with Dryad, because, well, sorry, Branch Right, this is Hero Dryad. So the Branch Right has access to those spells, but quite simply they don't have Life Bloom, so it will be slightly less. And you probably seen this already if you've seen my multiplayer battle. I've been using both Life Wizard and the Dryad to healing my units, and we've won that battle pretty decisively. And those healing can be casted on your 3-man, they will be as effective as before, or on your 3-kin. So yeah. So those guys are now down to 2611. And I will be waiting for another spell. And those guys are, what? 4400, okay. And we will be casting, I don't remember what we'll be casting actually, right now. 4400 and that was 2600, yeah. The live bloom is already working, but there is only 9 guys here, and this is regrowth with some... This is overcasted regrowth, but only casted on 9 Trikin, so the effect will be quite less substantial. 2400 should be the number after the live bloom, and as you can see, we are hitting the mark, almost hitting the mark here. So this is actually has ended, and we are down to 14. So single overcasted regrowth healed 2300 damage on this unit, even though there is only 9 guys in it. And I'm not sure if it would make a difference if it would be less guys here. The only problem with the number of units is that you won't be able to raise your death. But if you are going up to your cap and you still have some wounded units, you know, you will be able to save them. So that was pretty fun, I believe, getting all those numbers. And like I said before, I don't believe we will be casting anything more here. Maybe one more spell. There is still 10 guys here, and they are still at 4200 limit. Will be casting another healing spell? Probably. And here it is. Obviously we will heal this guy almost instantaneously. We will be hitting his healing cap, but for those guys, there is 9 of them. And with the live bloom they will be healing about 1600. So we have all the numbers right now for the healing spells. Let's do something more interesting. We have a few damaging spells that we can cast here, and I casted already one on the Dwarfis, and it didn't do that much damage. On the concentrated Dwarfis it did a bit better, but on 2 units it still scored only around 1400 health. And the explosions generally do quite nice damage on the Dwarfis. So here we have Rise Guard. I am adjusting my lines to, you know, be able to get them. And those guys are running straight into my... So obviously they are at full health. I'm not casting any spells at them right now. And yeah, Awakening of the Wood is not dealing almost any damage to the Rise Guard, which is surprising to the point that explosion spells generally do pretty well against heavy cap, and the Rise Guard is heavy cap, although that wasn't perfect hit, but it did slow them down quite substantially till the 48. So they hit a lot less impact damage. I will be quite obviously casting overcasted Earthblood, or at least I strongly believe I will. 4600 and some. Most of the life bloom was actually lost on those units before it was casted. The spell was casted before the combat started. This unit is not affected, and you can clearly see the difference. The spell has ended, and we can see again the numbers very quickly, because I don't want to focus on that. So yeah, that is pretty substantial, as you can see. Again in the area of 1200, because some of that was from Live Bloom, but not much of that was from Live Bloom. About 100, I would say, which would leave it at the mark of 1200. And here, it's actually more. It's actually even more, which is very interesting. But they were hit before, so the Live Bloom was to full effect. So around 1300 health healed by this unit. And this single spell will actually pull the balance of the battle pretty nicely in our favor. Those guys are getting killed by the Live Bloom, the second Live Bloom at least. Yes, and as expected, not fully actually, only 80 health, but they will be hitting by another one right about now. And here we have a Swordman. Those guys have 6,800 health, and those guys have 56. Right? 58, 56. 68, 56. And boom. We have Awakening of the Wood. So this unit is down by, as you can see, 1700 health. And this one was at what, 57, so similar damage basically. Not all of that unit was hit by this spell, but as you can see, my unit was almost not hit. But this time you can see that the Awakening of the Wood was actually kind of effective. For only 11 health and 11 mana, 8 is if my memory serves me well, 8 is can I open the browser right now? Spellsinger? Yeah. So it's 6 actually. It's only 6 and you cannot overcast it. So for 6 mana dealing 3000 damage and slowing those guys down is pretty sweet. However, as you can probably imagine from the Rise Guard, it is mostly or only non-armor piercing, because those guys got shafted. So that damage would be almost even more bad against any unit that has no armor, like, you know, Slayers or possibly some Marauders. Some Beastmen units, most of the Beastmen units will be actually pretty badly hurt if you can put it somewhere. And this is actually more damage than Miasma though. So the first damaging spell from the Lore of Life is much more effective than the first lore from the Lore of Shadow. However, do not use it against heavy cavalry when you should absolutely use Miasma. Right? And the Rise Guard have enough of it. And I will be probably casting another healing spell right here, or another healing spell, just to heal my guys and to absolutely destroy those guys' morale. My lord is there trying to damage those guys, and there will be another Live Bloom. My guys are down to 1800, so that means during the entire battle, yeah, I do get it, during the entire battle, but almost 3000 health was healed. And with this spell probably even more will be healed, but almost 3000 health was healed on this unit and this unit during the course of the battle, and that is pretty substantial. And as you can see, if the Eternal Guards are not supported by the healing magic, they will be losing to Swordman pretty badly, as seen here. Another Awakening of the Wood, 29 and a half, 34, 35. Obviously the damage is lessened because there is less units alive here, but we are still getting more than 1000, well, less than 1000 on this unit, but more than 1000 on this unit. And this will make them break. Obviously every explosion spells should be casted on as healed up unit as possible, and the draining life spells like Flock of Doom will be working very well regardless. Or the Traitor King, which is very cool spell, if you are using it correctly. Yeah, so there is no point in watching that. There is one more spell that we haven't really looked into, and this is Dweller Below. And I have just this scenario to test it. So what I will be doing, I will be trying to cast this Dweller Below on the Rise Guard again. I'm not sure if I will succeed, but we will get some data for this spell for sure. And because I do need more mana, because Dweller Below is quite expensive, and I do want to show you the Dweller Below. Overcasted version makes no sense because it's only extending the casting range, but the normal casting range is pretty cool also. But this is only 3 more mana, so yeah, why not? I mean, it will give you quite some advantage because 400 meters is quite a lot. However, the spell itself isn't that strong for this price, and you will see what I mean. Come on, attack finally. So I waited here because I did wanted to get enough mana to cast it. And as you can see, those guys are going straight into my trap. The Dweller Below is kind of like Explosion, but as you can see, those guys are now pretty nicely trapped by the spell itself. They are running away from there, but they are losing a lot of health during that. And for the normal Rise Guard unit like that, this is 1300 life, pretty substantial. However, obviously not worth this much money. So I will be basically adjusting that. I will be casting Overgrowth here. 95 guys still in the melee here. They are being charged by the Cavalry Rise Guard unit and quite possibly 2 Soulman units. So the regrowth here will be holding those guys pretty nicely, and I am supporting against the Rise Guard with my other Eternal Gaiads with shields. So those guys that we casted spell on still 94 of them actually. And as you can see, we are now using Earthblood also. But as you can see, we can heal all the way to, I believe, about around 2200 health from the overcasted version of the regrowth. And the additional physical resistance is not, you know, not nothing. But we are waiting for something else. We already seen the numbers. I was just double checking the numbers for this one. Wanted to make as many tests as possible. So for the normal for the normal Earthblood, those guys have regenerated. Yep, pretty much as in every test below before. Although they did get hit by the Life Bloom twice. So yeah, it is pretty substantial, about 1200. And I'm gathering some more mana to cast the spell, the damaging spell that I'm going to use against this blob. Just need to wait for the right moment. Is it now? Not yet. Not yet. And that was about right now, because I remember those right guards were already breaking. And we have 49, 63, 49, 63, and 28. Come on, boom. I would deduct about maybe 200 from each, because they were actually in the fight. But still, after the spell has ended, about 1500 to a unit that was already pretty much broken, and that was 48 down to 30, and that was yeah, pretty much 1500 damage. So this is similar to the damage that was casted on the Right Guard unit, which is, I mean, we've been expecting more basically. We've been expecting more than 1600, and that was probably due to the fact that the dweller below damage is mostly armor piercing. And this is it. This is all I have for you for today. I hope you like it. If you did, press like, comment if you will, and see my other videos. I do mechanics videos for Total War Warhammer and DLC analysis and speculation videos, but I also do let's plays for Total War series and other games. Thank you for watching, and see you later.